Hi, this is Excel class, and the reference textbook is Cengage, the Microsoft Office 365 Excel 2019. Excel 2019 is the textbook by Shelley Cashpan series. Uh, this is the textbook. That I'm referencing. Here we're going to look at Module 3. Module 3 is working with large worksheets, charting and what-if analysis. Working with large worksheets, charting and what-if analysis. So if you have the textbook right now, you can open to page EX360, apply your knowledge. EX360, apply your knowledge. This question asks you to, this details understanding logical tests and absolute test referencing. So here we'll be looking at logical tests and absolute cell referencing. So there are conditions given to us in the apply your knowledge question. The question is, for each of the following logical tests, indicate whether an if function in Excel would return a value of true or false. Given the following cell values, C2, H12, I3, L3, M14, M14 and G4. So I'm going to be solving this question and guiding you through. So basically we're looking at understanding logical tests and absolute cell referencing in module 3. So I'm going to open an Excel worksheet now. Okay, the conditions given to us, we want to test, want to have a logical test and the values to return, if true and if false. C2 is 41, cell C2 is 41, H12 is 13, H12 13, L3 32, M14 125, and lastly cell G4 is 2. Cell G4 is 2. Now we want to have some logical tests, and now we are to return true or false. So it's a logical test that we want to test, confirm if certain conditions are met, return true. If the conditions are not met, return false. So the formula bar, we go to the formula bar and is equal to if, then open the bracket for the logical test you want to have. There are 8 logical tests that we are to check their truthfulness or otherwise in this question. So this question is a sample. The test can be anything. So we want to test, number one is test if C2 is less than or less than H12. C2, test if C2 is less than H12. So test C2 is less than H12. Close the bracket for the logical test. Then what value, don't close the bracket yet, apologies. What value do you want to return if it is true? The question says true. Then what value do we want to return if it is false? Return false. It can be anything. It can be yes or no. It can be positive, negative. It can be high, low. It can be big, small. It can be anything. So basically, the conditions that we want, the logical test we want to assess is the first thing that will be in the bracket. We'll put a comma. The entry we want to return, it can be anything. This question is true. If it is true, then return false. If it is false, then close the bracket. Then enter, or you check mark. Oh, apologies. The answer is false actually, but I didn't want the answer to be here. So first thing I want my answers to be here. I want to use this colon to test my 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 8 entries. So what I did here, that's false actually, but that is not where I want the answer to be returned. I want to use this column O, for my results. So I make this cell O2 an active cell, and I go to the formula bar. Is equal to if, then open the bracket. So what is the logical test? C2 is less than H12. If C2 is less than H12, comma, return, if C2 is less than, this is less than H12. Now, your less than is the arrow pointing to the left, like it's going backwards. Your greater than is the arrow going to the right, like increasing. Arrow going to the right, arrow going to the left. That's how to get it. Less than is arrow is going backwards to the left. Greater than is arrow points to the right, like increasing, going forward. So C2 is less than H12. Return true if it is true. Then return false if it is false. Then check mark it, or you can click enter. That means it is false. Let's manually check. Cell C2 is 41. Cell H12 is 13. 41 is not less than 13. So the logical test shows it is false. 41 is not less than 13. C2 is not less than H12. So that logical test is false. Number 2, L3 is equal to G4. Test if L3 is equal to G4. Test if L3 is equal to G4. Then you can click enter, or you can bring your mouse here, this check mark, then check mark it. I was supposed to pick a new cell, so let me undo. Okay, redo H12. Okay, now I want to do the second one. So if is equal to, open a bracket, if, open a bracket, L3 is equal to G4. If L3 is equal to G4, comma, if it is true, return true. If it is false, return false. Close the bracket. Then click enter. That means it is false. L3 is not equal to G4. Let's confirm. L3 is 32. G4 is 2. 32 is not equal to 2. So that statement is false. So let's do the number 3. Number 3 is M14. Okay, so go to the formula. After you make this cell active cell where we want the answer to return, then you now go to the formula bar. It equals to if, then open the bracket. What is the logical test? The logical test is given M14 plus 15 multiplied by H12 divided by 10. Less than or equal to, is less than or equal to the L3. That is the condition that I want to test. If M14 plus 15 multiplied by H12, if that answer divided by 10, if that answer is less than or equal to L3, return. True if it is true, write true if it is true. Then if it is false, write false. Remember, true or false here does not have to be true, false. If the statement here is true, the question can say return yes. If the statement is not true, return no. So it can be yes, no, true, false, up, down, high, low, big, small, male, female, anything, or male, female, big, small, right, wrong. It can be anything, absolutely anything. This space means the entry or the item we want it to write for us if the statement is true. Here, write this item here if the statement is false. It doesn't have to be true or false. So we're done with that, so check mark it. The statement is false. If we check it manually, it will show it is false. M14 is 125. 125 plus 15, that's 140. 140 multiplied by 12 divided by 10 is not equal, it's not less than or equal to L3, which is 32. So number 4. So we make this cell an active cell, and we make this cell an active cell, then write the formula, which is M14 plus G4 is less than H12 divided by C2. If that logical test is true, then return true. If it is false, return false. Close the bracket. Oh, so it should be equal to, we must do that first. It's equal to if, then open the bracket. That is, I'm saying if this logical test is true, write true. If this statement logical test is false, write false. Then check mark it. The statement is false. So you can use the method that has been used to complete the remaining 4 entries. So you write if is equal to if, then you open the bracket and write the condition given to you, the logical test given to you as it is written, as it is given to you here. Then you now put a comma, equals false, like false or true. In this case, write true if it is true, comma, write false if it is false, then close the bracket and enter. It gives you false or true according to the logical test you have written. So thank you very much. If there is another question about understanding logical test and absolute cell referencing, please put in the comments. It will be responded to accordingly. Thank you.